Hello, everybody, and welcome back once more to Anime Yay or Nay. I am TheOutbackAl.
I'm Yin&Jung.
I'm CheerandCosplay.
And I'm Kozi.
And we're back once more with more crazy animation month. This time we're kind of leaving the Japan anime sphere of things that we normally do, and we're going over to China for some donghua, which I'm not as familiar with, but this was enjoyable for me. It was Fog Hill of 5 Elements. Has anyone seen this before or know a whole lot about it?
I have.
Nope.
I feel like you know more about these than I do, so why don't you tell us a little bit, if you can.
I'm not good at summarizing, but I had originally watched this because I heard that it was a 5-minute short initially that I believe was mainly made by one guy. And then it got picked up and expanded on into this series, and the fight scenes looked really cool. Like, I would see a bunch of clips of the fight scenes, and they were just very well animated, very interesting looking, and I liked the character designs. So I was like, I'm gonna watch this, and I was really looking at a lot of donghua at the time. And so I found this one, and the first season's only about 3 episodes, so I shot through it, and I thought that each episode was very short, like 2 minutes, and that it was just a long season. I think I was watching it all cut up on YouTube or something.
Yeah,
like in the olden days, it was almost that vibe.
Oh, come on.
It was
Were
like
you
that.
really there in the olden days?
I was kind of there in the olden days.
We talk of the olden days.
I think I saw some anime on YouTube.
So you watched them with the white subtitles with the yellow outline?
I don't know about that, but I think
you were not there in the olden days.
Maybe I wasn't there in the olden days.
Don't
Either way.
Speak to me of these ancient things. I was there when they were written.
Anyhow, so I really enjoyed it. I don't believe I had ever finished this series, like gone beyond the 3 episodes of the first season. I think there's about 8 now. But I definitely was always interested in watching more. I think maybe the rest of it wasn't there yet. Like, I think I was watching it more close to when it came out. Okay. But yeah, it was a really exciting series.
Because it is technically 2 seasons now.
Yeah.
Ask me how we know.
The second season's about 4 episodes, so, breaking it all down, it kind of ends up being like either one really long movie or like 2 movies.
Yeah, in a
so
sense.
Kind of worked pretty well for watching it for this week, because we basically watched the whole first season. It was just like about an hour and a half, and honestly, like, I had a really good time with this. I clearly don't have as much experience with you, but like, I watched a lot of shonen battle anime, and it gave me a lot of those vibes, and I was having fun with that. I'm actually reminded of, and I think this is just like an easy thing to go to for a lot of people, it reminded me a lot of the original Dragon Ball series a little bit. Mm-hmm. At least in the downtime.
I told you that, though.
Yeah, no, you did. I do remember the Journey to the West thing that you couldn't remember the name of. But yeah,
okay, leave me alone.
At the very least, the downtime bits reminded me of that. The sort of like, I don't want to say pseudo fantasy. It is a fantasy world essentially, and like ancient fantasy kind of thing going on. There's humor. There's honestly, a lot of characters are really silly up until the fights start, and then it gets extreme. Yeah. But I'm kind of down for all that. So. How about you guys? How was this experience for you?
I let Cece navigate Billy. And she started us on season 2, episode 1. So we started on episode 4. And it wasn't until episode 6 that I was like, no, this just, donghua can be a little confusing and they backfill a lot. But like, I feel like we're missing context here. Like, none of this is like really adding up. So I looked it up and I'm like, oh, yeah, we're in the 2nd season.
So
it even said at the beginning, episode 4, and I was like, did that say 4? So I backed out and I looked all around and I'm like, this says episode 1 everywhere. I don't see why it would think this is 4.
So did you guys end up going back to the first season to watch? Okay.
Yeah, we did that today.
So you watched 3 episodes of the 4-episode season 4. Then you went back to watch the 3 episodes of season 1. Did you get the last episode just to finish it off for the day?
No.
Oh, really? I would have just done it for completion's sake at that point. It's interesting because the first episode of the first season that we watched, it actually does kind of start kind of at what I have to assume is the middle or end of whatever the story is a little bit. Like
it has like a flash forward and then we see the backstory.
And I'm going like, there's very little context
does
here.
That though.
Does it a lot, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of some other things that do that. There's definitely other media that will like always start the story at the very end just to be like, well, how did we get here kind of thing. And sometimes that does work.
But like donghua never starts at the end. It starts in the middle.
Okay.
And you're like, what is happening? And it's like, oh, let me explain what's happening in like gratuitous flashback.
See, now I'm getting Naruto flashbacks, which, you know, is now not the point. Okay, so how did you guys feel? Because I'm kind of looking forward to seeing some of the rest of this. How did you feel like the second season compared to the first a little bit?
There's not much difference.
Honestly, I found it less confusing.
Okay.
Like, we went back to season 1, I'm like, what is happening now? I don't get this.
So, you see, when you have no plot, just a lot of fighting, Cece wasn't confused, but you put the plot in there.
Yeah.
And it suddenly became, why is everyone actually fighting?
Hold up, so there's less plot in the second season than there is in the first?
At least in like those first 2 episodes of it, it's just a lot of fighting.
That is that's really astounding to me.
You would have seen at the end of episode 3, there's a little Grogu looking fucker.
Yeah, the little, I was gonna think it was like a little dragon thing or something, right?
A little baby Yoda looking guy.
I think she's talking about something else, not the Panacea dragon, right?
No.
Yeah, it's the other thing. I don't know how to describe it.
It's by the demons.
It's
one of the demons.
One of the demons. Okay.
Yeah. You
duck.
see it. You see it at the very end. Episode 4 is the fight against that. And then episode 5 is a fight against another demon bird thing. And then episode 6 is like a flashback.
Normally be a little like, oh, hey, don't spoil this for me. But it doesn't sound like there is any real plot and it's just the fight scenes. And I guess I'm a little more hyped for more of these kind of fight scenes because these ones were pretty cool.
It definitely one of the girls that you would have only briefly seen her in episode 3. She returned with the older brothers.
Oh yeah,
you get to see her in action, and she is very step on me mommy.
Ooh.
I'm interested. I'm also kind of interested in the uncle who showed up who clearly came from Cyberpunk Edge Runners, but that's a discussion for another time, I suppose. So we should probably explain what little plot there is. There's a girl living in a village, and she has to go get a jar from a dude on a mountain. She goes and does that, meets some creepy travelers on the way, tells them how to get to her village. Always a bad move in any one of these stories. Then she meets a naked hot dude who's hot in multiple senses. He farms ducks, which, I mean, how do you do that? I have no idea. But yeah, then he gets her a pot, takes her back to the village, and a peacock demon is destroying her village, and then he has to fight because he's made of fire. And the village is bad because they took a dragon and have been using it to make medicine. And now demons are coming.
They had been torturing it to make medicine.
Yes, they've
been torturing it. And
torturing
it's a baby dragon.
Yeah.
And it's a sacred dragon because all dragons were sacred.
Okay. The plot really, what little there is, goes from 0 to 100 very quickly.
Also, I think all the envoys, or they might have called them mountain sages, depending. Like, it was weird. It did switch to calling them envoys of Fog Hill. But, like, the first season we saw called it a shrouded mountain.
Sacred shrouded mountain? Shrouded sacred mountain? One or the other.
Yeah. And called them sages. But
our version had, like, aspects.
Yeah, there are aspects of the mountains.
I'm wondering if maybe that's an element. Did you guys watch that on Bilibili?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we did not watch it on Bilibili, so it might be like just a translation thing. I know sometimes, it's one of those languages where it's like certain words can mean multiple things, and if it's not the same translator all the time, you sometimes get different stuff.
I think maybe the second season just had a more accurate translation, because again, it was actually calling it Fog Hill.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Maybe that was when they realized they were going to get more international distribution, so they decided to put a little more effort into, like, the English closed caption. That can happen.
In Envoy makes a little more sense because, like, we see that there are clans of these elementalists who I think it implies they're like godly beings.
I've been wondering that the whole time. I have no idea because the first season was mostly just, hey, let's set up why this village is getting attacked. Let's have a really cool fight.
I am basing that solely off of what the peacock demon said right before it died.
I don't remember the peacock demon saying anything about the aspects or envoys or avatars or whatever they are. I mostly remember him talking about how the village had it coming. Or are you talking about a different peacock demon?
No. He said the gods ignore the crimes of the humans.
Oh. I have trouble knowing what gods they're always talking about because I know that there are a lot more of them in that sort of... Wait, is this Taoism or what is this? I remember watching Modao Zushi a little bit with you, and like I know that was like cultivation, which is something... I'm probably like stepping on a whole lot of people's like cultural stuff right now, and I apologize.
Like, I haven't seen anybody who's technically practicing cultivation. It seems like in this, it seems like just the demons are fighting. Like, I don't remember any humans fighting.
Well, like just
like with
term,
magic.
like,
I don't remember any humans fighting.
I'm just trying
power.
to think. Like, I know that there's a number of different kind of like spiritualisms and stuff like that where there's gods of different things. Like there's a god of this mountain or a god of that mountain, or like, is it gods general or these specific ones?
I think I'd have to look more deeply into it. I don't want to assume.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But they're not fully human, so...
Yeah, I kind of
There's
got that from the you know, Super Saiyan fire mode the guy went into.
And like, there are, like I said, there are clans of them, so...
Okay. How many? Because they mentioned 5 elements, but I feel like I saw 6 or 7 people whenever the demon gate was getting opened. Am I crazy?
So, yeah.
I am crazy?
Those were clan siblings. The blue-haired girl was Water Clan, and the brown-haired girl was Fire Clan.
Okay, so they're doubled up a little bit. Okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that will hopefully, I mean, it'll probably get explained. If you know that, then it's definitely in season 2 somewhere, so I'll find that out when I find that out. But yeah, so I don't have a whole lot of information to go off of about like what all the background of these things are, other than the little lore dump that we get of how the 5 elements shut the demon gate. So, fight scenes? How about them? How about all the way people fight?
Very pretty. The water animation is gorgeous. They use it a lot.
Yeah. Like, I mean, this was definitely what I was looking for some of the, like, crazy animation kind of stuff that I wanted to do for this month. We've done 2 that were a little more on the surreal conceptual side the last 2 weeks, and this is a little bit more of part of me wants to say traditional, but part of me also wants to say like just wow, you put so much effort into this kind of thing. Like especially even like the backgrounds and stuff. I think I could take any shot of like one of the backgrounds of this and just put that up on a slideshow.
Yeah, the backgrounds are very traditional, which is cool to see. I remember you mentioning Princess Kaguya kind of.
Yeah, it does remind me of that.
At the end of your episode 3, did you have a guy who was like playing with paint?
Yes.
Because we had that at the end of ours. I'm like, what?
I kind of almost wondered if they were trying to lead into like a making of kind of segment after they were done, but they didn't, which was interesting.
I mean, we did see the process shots of
a little bit, but I thought it was going to be like, oh yeah, we spent this long to do it and this sort of stuff happened.
Yeah, I don't know what the paint was. It was relaxing though.
Yeah.
It was relaxing, yeah.
Maybe that was the point. You had all this hype from all the fight scenes and stuff, and you're getting ready for season 2, and then they're like, we need to calm people down.
It was a palate cleanser.
Yeah, we need to like ease them out. They're about to like they're about to come down real hard if we don't like ease them out of this.
Well, I mean, season 1, episodes 2 and 3 came down very hard.
Oh yeah, like that was
comparatively great. Those first 3 episodes of season 2 did not do anything like that.
Really? Okay.
Interesting.
That ending sequence was so relaxing, I took a surprise nap.
You're not gonna let surprise nap go?
No.
Well, hey, sometimes surprise nap sneaks up on you.
I really enjoyed that they weren't afraid to kill the kids.
That was a little bit surprising, though, again, not as familiar with donghua as I am with, like, things like anime and Western media. So is that more of a common thing? They just have no chill?
No, I would say a lot of media is allowed or like afraid to do that, honestly.
Maybe.
But I felt like it added like a lot of gravitas to like the scene.
Yeah, and I felt like when they introduced the little kid and the brother, they did a really good job of like giving us a sense of their relationship in just one scene. And I think it was like really impressive how they made us care about like that kid's death and his brother grieving him after having seen them for like 5 minutes. But I really did feel like I cared, you know?
Yeah, comparatively, you had the son of
Sixth
uncle. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, Sixth Uncle's kid didn't get a line.
Yeah, but Sixth Uncle himself was pretty large in those first episodes.
That is true.
But we didn't care about him.
Yeah.
He was a little bit of a weirdo. But
skis ball.
Yeah, that's actually a better way to put it. But yeah, I almost was I feel like a lot of other shows would have been like, hey, I remembered his name, You Dan, because like I feel like it's an easy one for me to remember. But like I thought he was going to be like the team mascot or something for whenever they got their like little group together to go fight the demons. But I was very wrong about that.
Yeah, and then they did that what if scenario during the credits with the different song.
Oh yeah. That was interesting.
Yeah, it was so sad, but
wow, that's I want that guy to come back.
I mean, he's alive.
I feel like he does.
He's got a purpose for vengeance. I mean, if he doesn't, that's a missed opportunity.
Right.
So, what do we think about... I'm trying to think of like who our main characters are here. We got Fire Dude. We got Girl from the Village. I feel like her uncles and her dad are there, but like I feel like they're really only there. Do they come back later? Because I feel like it's going to switch over to Big Brother Uncle at this point.
Vaguely, they hadn't really done much from what we had seen of them.
Okay, so
we saw they were trying to treat her dad.
Okay,
and they were also doing some more fucked shit.
Oh, okay.
And it confirmed that they are transforming into demons.
I had a feeling about that a little bit. We did.
What gave it away?
Well,
the fun face paint, the red eyes, the slitted pupils.
His eyes weren't red yet. His were green.
No, wait, he made that body disappear?
No,
maybe.
The second brother's eyes were red.
Ah, okay. See, the disappearing monster body thing made me think of those cultivation shows.
Yeah, but I think it is more the transferring to a demon than practicing cultivation.
Yeah, he got them pulsing veins full of green.
I think he's
we know it ain't good. I'm kind of just trying to think of like, I don't know if they're going to necessarily be the villain, but at the very least some sort of antagonistic force probably by the end of this.
There are going to be a few of the villains, but I feel like there's going to be like higher level villains.
Yes, it is kind of leaning that way because, again, that girl that was with them, Yuchi, she's also trying to get the dragon back.
I feel like that's probably like the main thing is everyone's either trying to get the dragon home or get the dragon back into captivity.
Yeah.
I was kind of like wondering who our favorite character was after these 3 episodes. Fire Dude's pretty awesome.
Easy.
Oh, you know what?
The duck.
Yeah, exactly. Straight up, the duck.
The duck gets better in season 2, though.
Apparently, he's the god of ducks.
Oh, the god of ducks.
What is it with like? I've
allegedly.
I have seen very few donghua. I feel like I've seen, but like for whatever reason, that's a recurring thing. Is like god of ducks, king of chickens.
I think you're just thinking of Scissor 7.
Well, that's the only other one that I've really seen a ton of. So, and that one was fun.
I feel like certain aspects of this are similar to that in terms of the battle scenes. I feel like are the most similar parts.
Yeah, like 3 that I've actually seen a decent amount of at this point. I guess this, because I've technically seen half of it. Scissor 7 and that Modazushi one.
Yeah, that one's the most different, I think.
Of
these 3.
Of the 3 things I get to compare, I think it is closer to Scissor 7. Because it has a little bit more of an over-the-top sense of humor at times, and the battles are
even though the ancient setting is similar to Modazushi.
Yeah.
It's really funny because it's not at all though, because it has like almost no real historical basis going on.
Yeah, not to the same extent as the other one now. It's mostly aesthetics.
Otherwise, there's some very disrespectful kids.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's a lot of cut short hair.
Yeah, I can't speak to that. So what was your favorite part of the fights in that? Because I feel like that's the main thing we got to keep coming back to, because that's the main selling point of this.
I feel like part of it for me, that one part after the peacock dude transformed into like his final form.
Oh, the hot version?
And then the other guy transformed into his final form. That was
the
really
hot
cool.
version?
Running along the wall.
Yeah. That part looked awesome when they both like...
You mean you enjoyed the demon fuckboy fight?
Yeah, I enjoyed the demon fuckboy fight. There are some really good shots of that.
Cece, how were you feeling during the demon fuckboy fight?
Good.
Cece's not into twinks, let's be real.
I am in that's a mood kind of way.
I kind of liked some of the stuff that the uncles were doing with like the individual weapons kind of thing, because that was all like as cool and as hype as you can get with some of like the later aspects of the fights and stuff with the big crazy god-powered explosion stuff. I'm always kind of a fan in like the battle shonen anime type stuff where they have to rely more on strategy a lot of times, or like an individual skill, which usually ends up being like in the early series usually. But I kind of liked, I have a spear and here's all the different things I could do with the spears, the knife. I'm gonna turn this abacus into a bow and arrow. Okay. Yeah. You know, you got some tricks up your sleeve. I like that.
Okay, but the Abascus beads exploded. So, like, we saw that guy doing math on those. Like, is it just if you hit it too hard off of each other, you're gonna accidentally blow up in your own face?
I mean, it has to hit with a certain velocity, so... I don't know. What's that velocity? Can you clack it that fast?
Someone's real angry when they're doing math.
I mean, who's not angry when they have to do math?
I'm angry.
Trip and fall and drop the Abascus.
Yeah.
Abacus.
I call it an abacus because I think that's how you pronounce it, but, you know.
I don't know. I think my favorite fight is actually gonna be in Season 2, Episode 1, because they're, like, in a paddy field type thing.
Okay.
And there's, like, some really gorgeous water animation. If you watched long enough to see the preview of Season 2.
I think so.
A little bit, but
there's one where the girl's head is, like, dunked underwater and she's being drowned.
I don't specifically remember it, but, I mean, so far what they're doing with this, if they want to take a whole scene just to specifically animate water, I'm guessing it's going to be pretty cool. I'm trying to think of what else to talk about here. There's not, it's mostly feels like just a hype show.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, like...
I do like, I don't know if you guys necessarily noticed this, but a lot of the stylisticness, especially with like the sketchiness of the characters.
Yeah, I like that.
It's really focused around the fire guy, and I feel like that's because he's already so like uncontrolled.
Yeah, I could see that. I'm wondering, because we got a little bit of it at the very beginning of episode 1. I'm really wondering what it's going to look like with everybody else, because I'm sure like if it's focusing on the more wild elements of like his fire kind of style of things, what are the other elements going to be as their kind of motion? Or
that'll be cool to see.
Very clean.
Okay.
Very clean.
Yeah, but like I'm assuming that earth wouldn't move the same as water or metal. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Also, like, the metal guy?
Is he
he's
sword
cocky
flying?
as all shit. Hot damn.
Well, I feel like someone has to be whenever you're going to have a group like that.
You gotta have the cocky guy.
Yeah. So.
He just casually flexes on everyone.
I mean, but aren't those guys kind of fun?
Like, is it deserved?
Walk he did when he showed up.
Yeah, no. So like, there's like a group meeting and everyone's just talking normally, and he's just like having his swords like dance around. He's walking on them.
Yeah.
Bitch is
like,
extra.
bro.
What do you want? Well, it sounds like it's going to be pretty fun to watch then. So
Yeah, I'm
I am
excited
looking
to see
forward
more.
I don't know that I need to say it at this point, but I'm a yay for this. It was very little plot, very little to explain. Everything is just
There's
what's the
a
setup
lot
to
of
a
plot.
fight. So, not in the 3 episodes that we saw. Like, it actually is pretty simple. Someone stole a dragon that they shouldn't have, and now people are angry about it. I mean, I pretty much summed it up, didn't I? Maybe it gets a little more complicated in season 2. I don't know, but the way you're making it sound, it mostly sounds like more fights for this main reason that's happened. So.
Either way, it's awesome. Yay for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, yay, I found it like a little hard to follow, but it's very pretty. And all the character designs are so cute.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm also a yay. Just make sure you're not watching it from season 2, episode 1, which is really just episode 4. Why did they call it a different season?
I don't know. It's always difficult.
I think
like,
it's because there was a break. Like, they probably
Yeah.
broke for a long time.
Yeah, I feel like anytime you have a break, they do that.
It couldn't have been that long, though, because they put a preview for this season 2.
Maybe they were working on it for a while. I don't know.
Hey man, I don't know what to tell you. Take it up with the production company.
It's hard to say.
But yeah. So moving on next week, we're moving from a thing about a fire dude fighting a bunch of demons to, weirdly enough, a bunch of demons on fire with a firefighter dude. Because next week with Crazy Animation, we're going to watch the movie Promare. And if I feel like people might have heard of this at this point, it's one of Trigger's things, and it definitely has its own unique style to it, but is also so quintessentially Trigger as well. So, looking forward to watching
Maybe
that again.
Cece will stay awake this time.
Who knows?
Yeah, speaking of surprise naps,
Oh, well, we'll see.
I was working night shift at that time, so it was hard for me to be awake during the day.
Hey, man, I get it. We've all been there at one point or another, so no shame on you. Anyway, come back for Promare next week, and then we'll also be announcing what the month of May will be doing for our themed months that we've been doing so far. So come back for that and everything else we got planned moving forward. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Hey, thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell icon for notifications. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like, and if you haven't already, check out some of our previous episodes, our daily gaming videos, or our parody series Madoka Magically Abridged. See you next time!